Hello, my friend. Today, you will hear a powerful story. A story about dreams, courage, struggle, and a simple idea that changed the world. It is the story of how one small coffee shop grew into a global symbol of community, comfort, and connection. But before Starbucks became famous, before the green logo appeared on every street corner, there was a man with a vision, and his journey was far from easy. Howard Schultz never imagined he would one day lead a coffee revolution. He was born in a poor neighborhood in Brooklyn, New York. His family struggled to survive, and Howard often watched his parents worry about bills, rent, and food. He felt a deep pain, a pain that would stay with him for the rest of his life. He promised himself something. One day, he said softly, "I will change my life, and I will help people who live like us." As a teenager, he worked hard, very hard. He took small jobs, carried heavy boxes, cleaned, and did anything that paid a few dollars. Whenever he felt tired, he would look at the tall buildings of New York City and whisper, "There must be something more." His dream was simple but powerful: to escape poverty and to build a life filled with purpose. Howard loved sports, especially American football. He was strong, fast, and determined. He earned a sports scholarship to university, something that changed his life completely. For the first time, he stepped into a world bigger than Brooklyn. He studied, read books, explored new ideas, and discovered something important. Opportunity is real, but you must chase it. After graduation, Howard worked in sales. He had a natural talent for talking to people, warm, friendly, confident. But one day, when he was visiting Seattle for work, he noticed a small shop buying a surprisingly large number of coffee machines. The name of the shop was simple, almost quiet: Starbucks. He became curious. Why is a tiny shop ordering so many machines? He wondered. He traveled to Seattle to see it with his own eyes. And when he entered the store, something magical happened. The moment he stepped inside Starbucks, he felt it. The smell of roasted coffee beans, the calm, warm atmosphere, the passion of the owners, the focus on quality. Starbucks was not a restaurant. It was not a cafe. It was an experience. He walked over to the founders, three men named Jerry Baldwin, Gordon Bowker, and Zev Siegel, and listened to them speak about coffee with love and respect. They didn't sell coffee as a drink. They sold it as an art. Howard felt inspired, almost shaken. Something inside him whispered, "This is something special." He returned home, but Starbucks stayed in his mind, night after night. Finally, he made a bold decision. He must work for Starbucks. He contacted the founders again and again. At first, they refused. They thought he was too passionate, too energetic, too different. But Howard did not stop. He told them, "I believe in your company. I believe in your vision. And I want to help you grow." Finally, after months of persistence, they said yes. And that was the moment everything changed. Working at Starbucks felt like entering a new universe. Howard was fascinated by the small details: the beans, the roasting process, the customer conversations. But during a trip to Italy, he had a life-changing discovery. In the streets of Milan, he noticed cafes filled with life, people laughing, talking, relaxing, enjoying the moment. Coffee shops were not just places to drink coffee. They were social spaces, warm spaces, human spaces. He felt goosebumps on his arms. "This," he whispered, "this is what America needs." Howard returned to Seattle and presented his idea. He wanted Starbucks to become a place where people could come together, where community mattered, where the cafe felt like a second home. But the founders disagreed. They loved selling coffee beans, not running cafes. They didn't see the vision. Howard felt heartbroken, but he didn't give up. He left Starbucks and started his own coffee company, inspired by Italy's cafes. He worked day and night, borrowing money, taking risks, and facing fear again and again. But he believed, deeply, that coffee could connect people. Soon his stores became popular. People loved the friendly atmosphere, the comfortable chairs, the music, the warm smell of coffee. They didn't just buy coffee. They bought a feeling. In 1987, something unexpected happened. The founders of Starbucks decided to sell the company. Howard saw his chance, his dream. But he didn't have enough money. Still, he refused to surrender. He gathered investors, told his story with passion, and convinced them to believe in him. Finally, after an intense and emotional struggle, Howard Schultz bought Starbucks. And now, the real journey began. Howard worked with energy, heart, and a beautiful vision. He wanted Starbucks to be a place of respect, a place where baristas felt valued, where customers felt welcome, where everyone felt like they belonged. He created new drinks, new styles, new experiences. Frappuccino, latte, cappuccino, seasonal flavors, warm lighting, friendly service. People didn't just go to Starbucks for coffee. They went for comfort, for connection, for peace, for inspiration. Slowly, Starbucks spread across America, then across the world. Europe, Asia, Africa, everywhere. The green logo became a symbol of warmth and a symbol of a dream that came true. But success always brings challenges. Competitors appeared. The economy changed. Some customers complained about prices. Some investors demanded faster expansion. Some critics said Starbucks was becoming too big, too powerful. Howard felt pressure, stress, fear. But he remembered the boy from Brooklyn, the boy who watched his parents struggle, the boy who said, "One day, I will change my life." That memory gave him strength. So he continued working with heart. He focused on quality. He focused on people. He focused on creating a global family of coffee lovers. And Starbucks kept growing. Then came a moment of crisis. The financial crash of 2008. Starbucks stores were closing. Sales were falling. Employees were scared. Investors wanted new leadership. Howard felt the weight of the world on his shoulders. But he made a courageous decision. He returned as CEO and said something powerful to his team. "We will not lose our soul." He closed all stores for one day, just one day, to retrain workers and remind them what mattered most: passion and quality. The world laughed at Starbucks for closing thousands of stores. But Howard didn't care. He believed that long-term success comes from strong values. Slowly, Starbucks recovered. Slowly, hope returned. And soon, Starbucks became stronger than ever. Today, Starbucks is more than a coffee shop. It is a global community, a place where people sit, talk, smile, study, work, dream, and begin new chapters of life. Millions of people walk into Starbucks every day, not just for a drink, but for a moment of comfort. And Howard Schultz's dream continues to live. His life, from poverty to global success, shows a powerful truth. Your past does not control your future. Your beginnings do not limit your destiny. Your dream grows when you grow. Starbucks started as a tiny shop in Seattle. Today, it stands as a symbol of imagination, a symbol of determination, a symbol of what happens when one person refuses to give up. And that is the true magic of the Starbucks story.